This is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. I'm Jenna Bosonko. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. A regional and national skills competition organized by the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority wrapped up on Monday with an award ceremony for the winners and contestants. The National Human Rights Commission held an inaugural meeting of the Stakeholders Monitoring Committee tasked with looking into the implementation of the TRRC recommendations. The mayor of Kanifing Municipal Council, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, has called for more collaboration between his municipality and Madison City, Wisconsin, to attract investment. Also, the mayor of Banjul, Rohi Malik Low, surprised children at her former school by donning school uniform when she went to present them with learning materials. In international news, Dr. Omar Aliou Touré, the new president of the ECOWAS Commission, was on Sunday sworn in as he assumed his mandate at the 62nd ECOWAS Ordinary Summit in Nigeria. Now, those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. So much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I'm Jenna Bosonko. Now, a regional and national skills competition organized by the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority wrapped up on Monday with an award ceremony for winners and contestants. The competition, funded by the Korea International Cooperation Agency through UNESCO, is geared towards promoting youth employment or empowerment through TVET education. Mohamed Lamin Choi has more.
It is a step towards youth empowerment through TVET training in the Gambia. Youngsters from different parts of the country took part in a regional and national skills competition organized by NACA with funding from COICA through UNESCO. The winners and contestants from the competition are being recognized and rewarded with certificates and cash prizes. The competition focused on skills such as block laying, electrical installation, floor and wall tiling, refrigeration and air conditioning maintenance, and tailoring. Alhaji Modi Jallo is the board chair of NACA.
Developing human capital through TVET can be a reliable substitute to natural resources. Exporting labor can enhance remittances, strengthen the country's economy, reduce poverty, and reduce the unemployment rate.
Given the mismatch of our education curriculum with the demands in our job market, there have been efforts by the Ministries of Basic and Secondary and Higher Education for a policy shift towards promoting TVET from lower to tertiary education. Adama Jimba Job and Mukhtar M.Y. Dabo are Deputy Permanent Secretaries at MOPSI and Mohast, respectively.
It is with this understanding that my ministry has recognized TVET as an important tool that needed to be given the due consideration it deserves by integrating TVET skills in the school curriculum.
This end, a national qualification framework has been developed, which clearly articulates the progressive pathways in terms of level descriptors within the different streams of education, notably TVET, general education, and the informal systems.
The Korean International Cooperation Agency, through whose support the regional and national skills competition is organized, is focused on supporting sustainable socio-economic growth in developing countries such as the Gambia. COICA has been supporting the Gambia with skills development. Hun Jong Lee is a COICA UNESCO representative.
The two things that they said really stick with me. Quote, building a competitive workforce means money, staying in this country because the country doesn't have to rely on foreign workers. And young Gambians need opportunities, and this competition will eventually lead to the nation's prosperity.
Mohamed Jah, the Honorary Consul for the Republic of Korea, is invited to deliver a keynote address at the award ceremony. Mr. Jah is an inspiration to these youngsters for being a product of a humble family and education background to becoming one of the most successful businessmen and largest employers in the Gambia.
You know, poor and rich is in the mind. You are rich if your mind is rich, and you are poor if your mind is poor. My father never gave me capital. I started from my bedroom, teaching people how to use the computer for free. Today we are running over 13 businesses. We are a multinational company. In Sierra Leone, we've just took over a company in London. But it's hard work. Everybody who knows me know that you can find me in my office every day, even on a Sunday.
At least 41% of Gambian youth are unemployed. The unemployment gap among the youth population is further deepened by their inadequate TVET skills. Through initiatives by NAGA such as this one and proper implementation of the Gambia's TVET roadmap, there is the potential for youth to benefit from life-changing skills that will increase their opportunities to earn a living. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now, congratulations to the winners and contestants. Now, the National Human Rights Commission held an inaugural meeting of the Stakeholders Monitoring Committee, which is tasked with looking into the implementation of the recommendations made by the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, TRRC. Lena E. Igwenyiba tells us more.
In response to the recommendations made by the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, the Gambia government, through the Ministry of Justice, entrusted the National Human Rights Commission with the responsibility to monitor the implementation of the TRRC recommendations. The meeting investigated the rationale for establishing the monitoring committee, review and adoption of the draft committee's terms of reference, as well as strategies for implementing the committee's mandate. Kimbeta is the Deputy Director of Civil Litigation and International Law.
The NHRC has a natural role under its act to monitor human rights violations and make recommendations to government. And we all know the TRRC recommendations are to repair harm that has been done, and failure or delays in repairing harm could consist a subsisting violation of human rights.
To boost human rights standards in the Gambia, the National Human Rights Commission publishes guidelines and manuals to help people better understand their rights, duties and obligations. Serafine Wakana, UN Resident Coordinator, emphasizes the role of the Commission in providing technical support to ensure the recommendations are implemented in a timely manner.
The National Human Rights Commission's role in this next process is critical. The TRRC process laid bare the heinous crimes and human rights violations that occurred. The National Human Rights Commission's mandate to ensure the promotion and protection of human rights makes the Commission a suitable fit in monitoring the implementation of the recommendations.
Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, the chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, speaks on the importance of Commission members having a full understanding of the white paper and the recommendations outlined.
For those of us who are going to be in the monitoring team, it will be part of our regular reading script, because if we are going to monitor the recommendations, we must also understand and know what recommendations we are monitoring.
Serafine Wakana makes recommendations to the government for the Stakeholder Monitoring Committee to be successful.
The government developed a comprehensive, phased and budgeted implementation framework, as it has committed to do in its white paper. And not only will this allow the UN and other partners to better coordinate our support to the TRRC implementation process, it will also enable the National Human Rights Commission to better fulfill its mandate to monitor the implementation.
The government assured Gambians of its unwavering commitment to the implementation of the TRRC report, as set forth in the white paper, which aims to ensure reconciliation and national healing, accountability, and justice for victims of gross human rights abuses and violations, the provision of reparations for victims, broad institutional reforms, and preventing recurrences. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Gweniba.
Now, the Mayor of Kanifing Municipal Council, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, has called for more collaboration between his municipality and Madison City, Wisconsin, in culture and to attract investment between the two councils. Umi Awaba has more in this report.
Talib Ahmed Bensouda was speaking at a joint press conference between the Kanifing Municipal Council and the Mayor of Madison, where a memorandum of understanding was signed between the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the University of the Gambia.
As a developing country and as a smaller, poorer municipality, we wouldn't want this to be one way. We believe we have a lot to offer. We think there's a lot that Madison could also benefit, and the people of Madison, and starting with an exchange of culture and, of course, an opportunity to invest. So we know there's a business development expert here from the city, and they've been already looking at different sectors. They've paid a visit to the Barkota Fish Market, the Women's Garden, the dump site. We want to attract investment to Canifing from Madison and Wisconsin at large.
Satya Rhodes Conway, the mayor of Madison City, Wisconsin in the USA, described her week-long working visit to the Gambia as a huge success. Her visit was characterized by activities across various sectors, most notably in the education, through which the UTG signed an MOU with the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
I do want to highlight that one of the things that we came here to do was to sign a memorandum of understanding between Madison College and the Ministry of Education, and that was accomplished. And there have been many, I think, important and productive meetings already between the college and the ministry. And so I'm hopeful that that memorandum of understanding will lead to a greater partnership, not just between the sister cities, but between the educational institutions for the betterment not just here of students in the Gambia, but also of students in Madison.
Mayor Rhodes Conway expressed delight at the hospitality accorded to her and her team since their arrival.
I think, in summary, there is much opportunity that this sister city platform can bring, as the mayor said, not just to Canifing and the Gambia, but also to Madison. And I think that our delegation goes home transformed into advocates for the Gambia. And we will be sharing what a welcoming and wonderful experience we've had here on the smiling coast of Africa and here in the heart of the Gambia, Canifing. So thank you again to everyone who has made this trip possible. It's really been, I think, an amazing and eye-opening experience for our delegation, and we are very pleased with the welcome that we have received and of all the things that we have witnessed and learned here in Canifing.
The two mayors have plans for development projects that will benefit the KMC residents. However, there still may be challenges to implement some of the projects.
For us to have a landfill, we need land. And yesterday we were at the Ministry of Local Government, and he told us that the challenge in Gambia is that land resources are scarce. He actually said there's a land identified for a landfill. However, they are facing community pushback. The community there does not want a landfill in their backyard. But a decision must be made. We have to have a landfill in order to live in a healthy society.
Mayor Bensouda said that Madison Area Council twinning with KMC is a worthy partnership, and he is looking forward to having more opportunities and projects from the sister city. For QTV News, Umi Awaba.
Nice. Now from that, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have some more local news stories for you as well as international. Do stay tuned.
Inco Home Choice defoon nañ ko daaw mu ne lool ci seeni client ñoo dellu si waat andil leen 10% discount si suñu makkaan yi nekk ci réew waaw 10% discount ci bépp bagage yi Inco boolaal tàmbalee ko benn fan ci weeru décembre bi ba si njeexteelu weeru décembre amal nañ leen construction equipments generators welding tools aluminium tools carpentry tools water pump electrical tools plumbing tools safety equipments ay push car washing machine ak garden tools ak yeneeni bagage yi ngeen muna soxla ci seeni liggéey kon daw leen gaaw dem seeti Inco Home Choice ñu nga ca Jimpex wala nga call ci 739-8863 wala ca Brikama callal ci 303-9300 mite Senegambia nga call ci 329-6967 wala sa Sukuta callal ci 341-7619 Inco Home Choice ñoo noppal askan.
Under the auspices of the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, the Muslim World League, in collaboration with the Gambia government, will host a conference of African religious ministers and ulamas on the 6th of December 2022. The International Islamic Conference will bring together ministers of religious affairs, leading Islamic scholars, policymakers, youths, community leaders across Africa to discuss and advance Islamic values that promote peace and tolerance. Let's come together and welcome our brothers and sisters in keeping with our trademark hospitality at the smiling coast of Africa. This message is brought to you by the Ministry responsible for Religious Affairs in collaboration with the Gambia OIC Secretariat.
Talahard Gallery, in partnership with the Q Group Foundation, presents Contemporary Art from the Smiling Coast of the Gambia, an exclusive art exhibition featuring renowned Gambian artist Njogu Toure with Modou Boy and Abdurrahman Salah. We are using a traditional fair booth at Q City Grounds, Bijilo, every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. from the 8th to the 30th of December. Come and browse, admire and buy original and indigenous art for every space and taste. Join us in nurturing the creative spirit. Proudly sponsored by the Q Group, Sunyo Boss, Sunyo Art, promoting entrepreneurship to build local content.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I'm Jenna Bosonko. Now, the mayor of Banjul, Rohey Malik Lowe, has distributed school materials to various schools in Banjul as part of her Back to School Referral Initiative and the UCLG World Initiative. Momodu Gajaga was there and fastened this report.
The materials include school bags, shoes and books to relieve parents buying these necessary items for their children. Mayor Lowe's first visit was to her former school, Kampama Lower Basic School, before going on to other schools in the Banjul area. The children at her alma mater were thrilled to see the mayor dressed in her former school uniform. She received a hero's welcome from students. She distributed the school materials in her drive to support female students from less privileged backgrounds. Mayor Lowe says the initiative is also to bridge the gender gap in schools.
We are fighting for the empowerment of women. We are fighting for gender equality. And we all know that the margin between the boy and the girl is huge. As the saying goes, eat what you grow and grow what you eat. So when you come to the students, you have to go to their level. So this is why I decided to put on the uniform. And this was also, I was once also a student of Kampama Primary School before going to St. Joseph Primary School and then proceeded to St. Joseph High School. So this is why also I deem it necessary to start the back to school here at Kampama Primary.
Rafela is the network of locally elected women of Africa. Earlier this year, Mayor Rohey Malik Lowe was elected as its president. Among the programs championed by the organization are education, climate change resilience, and gender equality advocacy. Aissatou Njai, the national coordinator for Rafela, explains the school donation program.
It is amongst the objectives of Rafela to empower youths, especially the female child. The president of Rafela, therefore, is aware that not all the parents have the financial stability to supply their child with all school materials. She is also aware that when she donates the school items she's about to give to some young students, she will relieve their families of financial stress and motivate them.
The students and teachers of Kampama Lower Basic School expressed gratitude to Mayor Lowe, Rafela, and UCLG World for the donation. The donation put smiles on the faces of the beneficiary students who read poems and sang joyously.
I dreamt of a world where everybody will say they are blessed. I dreamt of a world of forgiveness and compassion. I dreamt that the world was a family, helping each other was their passion. I woke up in the morning to a world that my dreams were hardly known. No acting insane together, no argument that are baseless, because positive elements will be mine in every tense, and hope with faith and strength my dreams will come true.
Momodu Gajaga, QTV News.
Interesting, brilliant initiative there. Now from that, a new community market in Jarasoma in the Lower River region constructed to relocate vendors who were stationed at the Yilitenda Bambatenda ferry crossing is still not occupied. Our regional correspondent Bakari Balde engaged key stakeholders in the region to find out why.
This new market is located in Soma on the Trans-Gambia Highway
It consists of 76 shops with toilets, a good water and electricity. The construction was funded by the African Development Bank and the government of the Gambia as part of the Senegambia Bridge project. 2 weeks since its commissioning, vendors are reluctant to move to the new site. Sidi Lamin Bah, the governor of Lower River Region, tells us the reasons for constructing the newly established market.
It was officially opened and inaugurated by His Excellency the President sometimes last year. It came as a result of the fact that when the bridge was constructed, there was a need to move those people who were actually, doing some businesses around the bridge. And to move them, you need to get them a place. So the central government thought it wise, through His Excellency, to open a new place where these people can do their businesses. Now, a new market was constructed in Soma. Hence, all those people who were around the riverbank, Wiletenda, Bambatenda, were asked to move to that place. Now that the bridge is there, you don't need any other businesses hanging around because there's no ferry services.
Landin Bisane, the chairman of Mansakonko Area Council, outlined the role of the council in maintaining the smooth running of the market.
Recently, my council's street light project program with solar lights have installed strategically solar lights at the strategic points of the market, apart from the electricity program that is in the market, so that once there is no electricity from the main grid, we will still enjoy light in the market.
Mohamed Sise, a vendor, highlighted that the market will boost trade in the region, and he further calls on those who are allocated shops to start occupying the place.
Militoyi kadi imbe ben kadi kala jogido kadi ko place ko ndere marché yebe addu bagage ba wudditama ko heddi joni ko golle den tun heddi ko dumme hebi ko mi haala jama rek.
Some vendors, on the other hand, raise concerns over the lack of a proper fence and security. Governor Bah and Chairman Sane responded to these concerns.
That market is well fenced. There's no problem with the fencing. There's a perimeter fence, and even if you look at your footages, you'll see it. There will be security 24 hours. A market manager has been identified.
For over 2 months, we have a team of cleaners at that market, cleaning on daily basis. Okay? And we fence the front face of the market. It's completely fenced with railings. There is full-time security of our municipal police or our council police at the market. Okay? And the entire place is electrified. Each shop or stall has its own meter.
Now that the market is officially open, vendors allocated shops are being urged to occupy the place to avoid being replaced by others if they fail to occupy their allotted spaces by the timelines given to them. Reporting for QTV News, I am Bakari Balde.
From that story by our regional correspondent Bakari Balde, let's take a look at news beyond our borders. Dr. Omar Aliu Toure, the new president of the ECOWAS Commission, was on Sunday sworn in as he assumed his mandate, taking the oaths at the start of the 62nd ECOWAS Ordinary Summit of the Authority of Heads of State and Governments in Abuja, Nigeria. Aliu Sise, it's in Abuja, and fast on this report.
Dr. Omar Aliu Toure took the prescribed oath of office, allegiance and secrecy administered by the President of the ECOWAS Court of Justice before ECOWAS leaders, including President Barrow of the Gambia.
I, Omar Aliu Toure, solemnly swear that in my capacity as President of the Economic Community of West African States, I shall be faithful and loyal to the Economic Community of West African States.
Dr. Toure, a Gambian diplomat and development professional, was appointed ECOWAS Commission President at the last ECOWAS Summit in Accra, Ghana on July 3, 2022 for a 4-year term. Dr. Toure was the Gambia's ambassador and permanent representative to the African Union and United Nations for several years. He had also served as the Gambia's Minister of Foreign Affairs. In his address, Dr. Toure expressed gratitude to God, heads of state of ECOWAS, ministers, his wife Salimata Toure, and his country, the Gambia, under the leadership of President Barrow, for nominating him and mobilizing support for the position.
Your decision to appoint me to this high office represents the trust you have in President Barrow's wisdom. For me, I feel humbled by the privilege that this appointment represents. I feel privileged because I know there are so many competent men and women out there who could equally do the job, if not better.
Being aware of the enormous tasks ahead, the new ECOWAS Commission President commits to discharge his responsibilities to the best of his ability without fear or favor. He calls on the support of all to realize his vision and mission to deal with the multifaceted problems in the sub-region, such as growing sources of insecurity, unconstitutional change of government, fake news, poverty, high inflation, increase in budget deficit, and rise in public debt, and wider balance of payment challenges.
Terrorism in particular, Excellencies, has continued to threaten our region, spreading from the Sahel to the coastal states. Equally, the spate of coup d'etats and counter-coup d'etats continues to reverse the democratic gains made over the years.
In what could